Welcome to Yoga 77. My name is Jackie. And so this video is a short practice focusing on hands and fingers. The inspiration for this video was one of my sons who plays the oboe and has been doing a lot of practice. So just giving our wrists, our fingers, our hands some love today. And so just starting in your seated position, you might be cross-legged or seated on a chair or kneeling, whatever works for you today. No right or wrong. And just start by observing your body, your breath, your mind, and just placing anything aside that might not serve you for the next 10 to 15 minutes. And so you might have your hands on your lap, on your legs to begin with. And just begin to observe your breath, noticing your inhale, noticing your exhale. You might close your eyes down, and then you might start to inhale through your nose, maybe a little pause at the top of your inhale, and then exhaling through your nose. Just notice where you feel the breath. It might be in your nostrils, the back of your throat, your chest, your belly. Notice any tension in your body, maybe through the shoulders, the neck. Just take a little movement if that feels right to you. And then start to notice the connection to your sit bones. It might be the mat that you're sitting on or a chair, a bolster, a cushion. And then notice that lift through the spine, rising up through the heart center, through the chest, and then right up to the crown of your head. And just take another 3 to 4 breath rounds, just as you are, just observing. Noticing any sensations in your body, any thoughts. And then just bring your focus to your hands. Notice if they feel tense or relaxed. And you might just start to wriggle out your fingers and just observing, just noticing. Maybe have a look at your hands. Not something we really take much time to do, look at our hands. Spread your fingers, you might scrunch your hands up as tight as you can. And then let them go. Have a look. Notice any sensations. You might notice tingling. Do that again. Scrunch them up even tighter this time. Maybe a little longer, and then let them go. Again, just noticing, you might rest your hands down to do that. And then just give them a shake. Take them up high, take them up to the side. Just getting that energy going, that blood flow. Take them behind, wherever you like. And again, just slowing it down. Notice any differences this time. You might come into stillness, and you might have a look. Nice. And then as you're ready, just starting to take some gentle pressure into the palms, bringing a bit of a flexion into the wrist. Just draw the shoulders down and back. Almost like you're opening out through the chest, the heart space. So an active, even rolling back and down of the shoulders. A light drawing of the belly too, so you've still got that length in the spine. And just bringing the palms in together. And so just a bit of resistance, palm into palm. See if they're even, see if there's a little bit of an imbalance and one wants to be stronger than the other. Just noticing, you might close your eyes down to do this. And get an opportunity here to come back to also bringing in that focus to your breath. Maybe that inhaling through the nose, that little pause, and then an exhaling out of your nose. Nice. And then you might choose to bring the arms up overhead. See if you can keep that even resistance, palm to palm. Notice where it starts to ease off. Nice. And you might bring the hands back down again. Maybe try another of those. You might come a little lower this time. Noticing the wrists. Maybe noticing the shoulders here, the arms. Maybe the forearms. You might be able to straighten your arms or not. Nice. Then maybe take that into a circling motion. Again, you might be just noticing that you're starting to wake up the shoulders, the chest here. Maybe try it the other way. You might even notice your abdominal muscles working here. Maybe a good way to build up a six-pack. I don't know. And then just come back through center. A little moment of pause here. Again, just notice if the shoulders have crept up near the ears. And just letting that go. Again, you might bring hands down onto your lap, palms facing up or down, and just observing. Nice. And then we're going to come over into what we call a tabletop position. You might have already noticed the difference in your hands and your wrists. It'd be nice for you to give feedback on this video. Just letting me know. So legs about hip distance apart and spread your fingers wide. Notice if you can bring an even weight into both of your hands and then just start to rock side to side. Again, noticing how the wrists feel. Notice if one feels different to the other. And especially if you're playing an instrument, you might use one hand more than the other for different movements. And so it's a really good thing, especially as someone like a musician or someone working with their hands and wrists a lot, to bring your awareness to your hands, your wrists, your fingers. Nice. And then maybe just start to bring that forward and back. Rocking motion, again, just observing. And you might, again, bring that connection to your breath. You might coordinate your forward and back with your breath, maybe. And then you might start to take that into a circling motion. So circling one way, take it the other way. As you can tell, we're also starting to warm up into the spine. Really nice. You might even turn it into a figure eight. Or choose a different number or a letter. So you're drawing out that shape. Just noticing. This adds a little bit of fun, a bit of creativity. Really nice. Makes it a little bit more focusing, a little bit, I guess, more meditative, a bit more of a rhythm. Nice. Then once you feel complete, just sit back on your toes. You might tuck your toes under, coming into a toe tuck squat, and just give them a shake. Okay, just notice how it feels. Let it all go. And then just maybe just noticing again. You might bring your hands down. Just roll up the shoulders a bit. You might be noticing your toes, so just come down on your hands and just toe tap your toes out. Nice. All right, and come back into the tabletop. And then we're just going to try one more movement. And so you're going to just start to take the weight into one hand and then the other. Again, make sure the fingers are spread wide. And then start to walk your hands so the fingers start to come out to the side. You might find space to start to bring your fingers back towards you. So that's how that feels. You might take some rocking motion forward and back, and it might be really tiny here. And then start to walk your hands back out wide again. They might come back to the center. And then option here to keep bringing them in towards each other. Just noticing what is your range of motion in your wrists. How far back can you come? Obviously you want to come back so it still feels comfortable. You don't want to be bringing any pain in. Again, you might just take some movement here. So just bringing a little bit of weight bearing and a little bit of awareness through the wrists. And then as you're ready, walking hands back so the fingers are pointed towards the top of the mat. Again, you might just take some movement forward and back. And then invitation here to come right back, drawing heels back towards your hips, coming into child's pose. And here you might keep the palms flat on the mat and you might take some movement side to side. Or you might choose to see what it feels like coming up onto your fingertips, almost like making like crab hands or spider hands. Notice if you can bring all your fingertips and your thumb tips down to the ground. You might stay here for a few breaths. You might come into stillness. You might lower your forehead down. You might even rock your forehead side to side, a little massage. Really nice. And it might be your next inhale, drawing yourself forward. And then you're just going to make your way down into a lying down position on your back. You might draw your legs in towards your belly, take some little rocks side to side, just giving your lower back a bit of a massage, circling the knees, noticing how the fingers feel, the wrists, the spine, noticing any changes through your body, a little bit more space. Really nice. And then as you're ready, just feel free to take any final movements. You can sneak in a happy baby or anything else that feels good. Otherwise, you might bring your legs down, feet to the ground. You might bring your feet a little wider, let the knees knock in together. Or you might prefer your legs extended long for our final resting position. And then feel free, you might just roll out through the wrists. You might feel like giving them a bit of a shake. Just really taking whatever feels right. And then you can rest your hands by your side, palms shining up towards the ceiling. You might notice that your fingers are gently curled. And if they're not, just noticing if you can let go of that tension or tightness in the hands and the fingers if it's still there. Just noticing anywhere else in your body that you might be holding on. And just so bringing in that sense of letting go, relaxing all the muscles, relaxing the face, the tongue, your jaw. And then feel free to stay in your resting position for as long as you're able to, or you'd like to, your Shavasana. And otherwise, bringing hands to your heart center will end our practice together. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. Hopefully this is something that you can use and find helpful. As I say, in particular for musicians working with their fingers, playing woodwind instruments or brass instruments or pianists. Have a wonderful rest of your day or rest of your evening. Until next time, go well. Namaste.